Today I want to talk about something that many of us experience but often don't openly discuss. Impostor syndrome. Impostor syndrome is a psychological pattern where individuals doubt their skills, talent, or accomplishments, fearing that they'll be exposed as frauds, despite evidence of their success. Impostor syndrome, the silent underminer of dreams, the nagging voice in the back of your head, questioning your worth, your accomplishments, your very right to be where you are. It's a phenomenon that affects countless individuals across all walks of life, and writers are not immune to its insidious grip. In fact, they may be particularly susceptible, as the very act of creation lays bare their vulnerabilities, their insecurities, and their fears of being exposed as frauds. Imposter syndrome can be paralyzing. It makes you second-guess every word you write, every idea you have. It's a constant battle between wanting to pursue your passion and feeling like you're not worthy of it. The writer's mind becomes a battlefield, a constant struggle between their desire to create and the fear of being found lacking. They question every word, every sentence, every idea that dares to take shape within their imagination. Who am I to write this, they ask themselves. What if I'm not good enough? What if they find out I'm just pretending? But here's the thing about imposter syndrome. It's a liar. It distorts reality, magnifying perceived flaws and minimizing genuine achievements. It convinces the writer that they are alone in their struggle, that everyone else has it all figured out, while they stumble blindly in the dark. But the truth is far more complicated, because you see, every writer, from the novice scribbling in a notebook to the seasoned author with a shelf full of awards, has experienced moments of doubt. They've grappled with feelings of inadequacy and wrestled with the temptation to give up. But here's what sets them apart. They keep writing. They refuse to let imposter syndrome dictate their destiny. They use it as fuel, as motivation, to push past their fears and embrace the uncertainty of the creative process. So to all the writers out there struggling with imposter syndrome, know this: you are not alone. Your words have value, your voice matters, and your story deserves to be told. Embrace the discomfort, lean into the uncertainty, and above all, keep writing. For it is in the act of creation that we find our truest selves. Imposter syndrome be damned. Picture this. A writer sits at their desk, surrounded by stacks of books, lots of pages, and half-empty coffee cups. They stare at the screen before them, fingers poised over the keyboard, and they try to find the words to describe the next scene, but they can't. Doubt creeps in like a thief in the night, and they're filled with a hollow sense of inadequacy. Eventually, their confidence is completely gone, and it's been stolen. I've been writing for years, but I still feel like I don't really belong in the literary world. In my head, I'm still that 8-year-old or 12-year-old who wrote stories in the back of notebooks and scribbled on little sheets of paper that were all crumpled up. And it's funny because no matter how many people say, oh, we love your books, we love the stories you tell, I'm always filled with that sense of inadequacy. And I sometimes wonder if that will ever go away, or will it always be around? And I know that the people in much higher positions than I am who suffer from much worse. I mean, presidents, prime ministers, CEOs, stockbrokers, people in very powerful positions, and they still suffer from imposter syndrome. And I often wonder if imposter syndrome is just us as adults remaining in a childhood phase where we believe that we're children in this big adult world. I wonder if there's a simpler reason to it, or if it's as deep and as dark as psychologists say. Or is it more that we're just children, or we feel we're children, or we believe we're still children trying to find our way in the big wide world? So my advice to people, writers, creatives, people who put stuff out there in the world, if you believe that you are inadequate, or no matter how many people say, oh, fantastic work, we love your art, we love your music, we love what you do, if you still can't believe it, then that's imposter syndrome. And my advice is to just keep going, because in the initial stage, when you've actually finished the work and you're about to put it out there, you will have that sense of self-doubt. But that doubt just lasts maybe a few minutes, a few hours, and then it's gone. And it's always right before you release a new piece of art or a new piece of work, a new piece of writing, a new book. And I think it's something that we just have to power through, because eventually the desire to make art is much more powerful than the nagging doubts in our minds. So I hope this is of some comfort to you.